Hey guys, how are you? Coach Dimitri here. Today I want to talk about heart health, more specifically internal visceral body fat. Okay, so we're talking visceral body fat, and why are we talking visceral body fat? Someone very close to me this past month was diagnosed with a heart attack. It really hit home, and I wanted to make sure that I spend some time educating you on the importance of heart health, okay, and how you can test yourself daily to see if your resting heart rate or blood pressure are out of whack. So what am I doing right here now? I'm holding on to some visceral body fat. Now, what is visceral body fat, guys? Visceral body fat is this, okay? This is tissue, body fat tissue, known as adipose tissue in the medical world, which lives beneath the stomach wall, more specifically beneath the muscular wall. Now, there's three types of fat tissue. We have subcutaneous tissue, which you can just pinch on someone's skin. It's above them in their face. That's the fat that lays outside the body, outside the muscle. There's visceral tissue, which is what I showed you, which lies in between the organs. That's the most dangerous one. And the third one is retroperitoneal, which lies right in the back area between the kidneys and the spine, where people who are severely obese or morbidly obese have issues with compression onto the kidneys. So why am I talking about this? Because a lot of people don't pay attention to their heart health. A lot of people focus on getting a lean waist, building some muscle, getting faster, getting stronger, decreasing their amount of fat in their body, but they're not really paying attention to the most important muscle, the one here. If your heart's beating from 3 weeks old, and that heart becomes 3 months old, 3 years old, 30 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, guys, come on. If we're not working that strong muscle, we're gonna have issues. Now, what types of issues are we talking about? There's many types of heart issues that you can have, and a lot of them are associated with this guy, having high body fat. Now, another area of concern is having high triglycerides or high cholesterol, because that works on building plaque in your arterial walls, which basically is like having a tube, and instead of having a nice clean area where blood can go in and out very easily, you get cloggage. So heart attack, stroke, atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, migraines, angina, stress. These are all problems caused by people who don't pay attention to proper heart health. I'm gonna go through now and explain to you blood pressure, how to take your blood pressure, how to do it very easily during the day, and how to check your resting heart rate. Now, this little calculation I'm gonna show you is super easy, but it's gonna show you if you're burning extra beats per day. Let's go. Okay, so we're talking blood pressure. Now, blood pressure, for those of you who don't know, is the amount of blood pressure that's built in the arterial walls. So think of systolic over diastolic pressure. What that means, another reference, is when your heart is contracting and squeezing in, systolically, it's pushing blood through your arterial walls to the brain, to the arms, to the big extremities. Now, diastolic, you'll see on the side, we're giving you some education there. Diastolic pressure is when the heart is going to be retracting and then refilling. So you have systolic compression, diastolic refilling, okay? Typically, an average blood pressure is 120 over 80. Now, another important factor is knowing your resting heart rate. How do you check your resting heart rate? Well, typically when you look at a blood pressure machine, it'll give you the number there. I did a calculation here to show you what my resting heart rate is after doing 60 seconds of jumping jacks. Now keep in mind, a typical resting heart rate should be done, and blood pressure, first thing in the morning when you're nice and relaxed. So as you look at this diagram here, you'll see that my resting heart rate was 83 beats per minute. So that means while I finish my jumping jacks and now I'm sitting down, my heart is beating at a rate of 83 beats per minute. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, and if you want to find out how you can calculate the amount of extra beats your heart's doing per day, you're going to sit down. One, you can either take your resting heart rate that you have, the number that's given on your watch, on your heart rate monitor, or on a blood pressure machine. Or two, you can sit down, get a stopwatch next to you, and put your 2 fingers on your wrist. You're going to look for that pulse. As soon as you feel that pulse, you're going to tap your stopwatch or have someone else time you. We're looking for 15 seconds. Now, whatever number you get for 15 seconds, when you stop it, you multiply that number by 4. So if you got 15 beats per 15 seconds, 15 times 4 is 60. That's a really, really good resting heart rate. This one shows you 83 beats per minute. Now, the average for a male is 70 beats per minute. The average for a female is 72 beats per minute. But if we're talking athletic individuals, you're gonna get as low as 60 and even sometimes 50 to 60. That is the more athletic side. So what you do is this. For example, if we're using 83 as the number, you're gonna mark down 83 minus 70. It's gonna give you 13 extra beats per minute. Now, we know that there's 60 seconds in every hour. So you'll go 13 times 60 equals 780. Then you'll take, there's 24 hours in a day, 780 times 24, and bang, look at that crazy number. That number is 18,270 beats per day. That is crazy, people. If you do that number and you get a number that's that high, it basically means your heart is overworking all day. So that is how people get heart attacks. That is how people have issues with stress. That is how people have constant migraines. That is why people have constant pain in their chest, because you're sitting down and your heart is beating so fast. We want to get you to a point where your resting heart rate is low. So this is an easy way to gauge if your fitness program is working. Instead of focusing always on body fat reduction, how much muscle I'm going to build, try to focus on seeing if you can lower your resting heart rate. That's going to help you out and live a much happier and healthy lifestyle. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this short video on heart health, blood pressure, and resting heart rate. Remember, it's something that's super important that nobody talks about. All you got to do is calculate your resting heart rate over 15 seconds and multiply that number by 4, and you will know what your resting heart rate is. If you're interested in learning more on how to improve heart health, how to decrease resting heart rate, and how to get yourself more energetic, watch the next video that I'm going to be showing you, which talks about 5 different methods to do so. And remember, I have one simple thing to ask. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with any friends you know. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, and do me a favor, give me a comment. I want to hear a question you got. I want to answer for you, and I want to be here to help you out. Thanks so much. See you at the next video.